Hello. Well, this morning I had a really interesting dream, so I got up straight away and I'm going to try to remember it and tell it to you. So the backstory is, a couple of nights ago I had a different dream. It was a dream I have experienced at intervals throughout my life, and it's a very frustrating sort of an idea. I'm trying to get somewhere, and the way in front of me turns into a vertical wall, and I'm struggling to climb up this wall, and there are little slits in it that you can get your fingers in if you try really hard, and I'm heaving away and trying so hard to get myself up this wall, and somebody next to me just kind of takes a running jump and runs up it. And I have this sense of, why is it so difficult for me? So after that dream, I started thinking about it the next day and wondering, what is my problem? Is it that I'm trying to do the wrong thing? Is it that I'm trying to do things that are too difficult for me? We can't all do everything. I know it is possible to get into a mindset where you say to yourself, I can do anything if I try, but I'm not convinced that that really works. So I was trying to formulate an affirmation for myself that would be positive and realistic. And I ended up with something like, I don't have to force myself. I don't have to try to do things just because other people find them easy. I can let go of things. There's always another way. That sort of idea. Because I used to do affirmations, as I said in a previous video, when I was having a difficult time in my life, when my husband had left me and everything was all, I don't know, really impossible. I was also at probably the most focusedly spiritual time of my life. I was really deeply involved in in New Age kind of stuff, you know, what they call woo, spiritual guidance and cod psychology and stuff. But it did work for me. A lot of it did work, and affirmations seemed to be one thing that did change my mindset in some way. And so I was thinking, I need to get back to this, because why not, you know, make the most of it. So yeah, that's what happened that time. Now this morning I was having a dream where I was with my 80-year-old mother. She's long since gone, but in the dream I was with my 80-year-old mother, and we were going to go somewhere. And we were thinking, well, we've just got time, we could go to this interesting place here. So we decided we would go to the interesting place. It was, I don't know, one of those places that you visit with your mother, like an old castle, I don't know, something like that. So we set off towards it, and we didn't really know exactly where it was. There seemed to be a vast tract of land between us and it, but we were thinking, if we just get over that hill over there, we'll find it. So we were plodding along. The ground was getting more difficult. There were ruts in it and puddles, and I was looking ahead and thinking, we're not going to get this way. There's deep ruts. My mother's not going to get through that. I have to pick the easiest way, and I found another way that we still had a few ruts, but it seemed a bit easier. And so I also had a vehicle. I don't know if my mother was in the vehicle or if it was just something I was pushing. Later on it morphed into a pushchair, but anyway, what happened was I grabbed this thing and I took a run at this difficult stretch of ground and pushed through it. And then we plodded on up the hill, and it got steeper, and I kept looking at my mother and thinking, is she going to make it up this hill? This is really quite hard work. But we're nearly at the top, and then at the top of the hill it turned out there was a wall with probably some kind of parapet at the top, and so we were trying to climb up this wall to get to the parapet, because then we would be in. And there was a couple of men walking about up there, and I was thinking, well, if we could just get our fingers over the kind of the brick layer at the top, then we could haul up. Well, I could haul myself up. I'm not sure if my mother could haul herself up. And so I was trying to calculate how we could do this, and I thought maybe we could get some things, boxes that are lying around maybe, and make a pile and climb up that way. And the men on top of the parapet were looking down at us and trying to say something to us, but I didn't really understand what they were saying. I thought maybe they were telling us we shouldn't be doing this. And I told them, well, we're going to make a pile of boxes, we're just going to climb up here. And then they were saying, oh, we didn't realise that's what you were going to do. Well, yeah, we were going to offer to help you. And then, somehow, I'd given up the idea of trying to climb over this impossible wall. And I was saying to my mother, let's go this way. And we were turning to the left, and the wheeled thing had definitely turned into a pushchair. So there was my mother and there was me, and I was pushing this pushchair. And to the left of us, there was an arch, and we went on towards it and over a few little stumbling bits of step, and there it was, an open arch, and inside the arch was a lovely man who was all ready and willing to welcome us in and explain about the building to us and help us to go round it, and all our problems had been solved. Now this is a very unusual type of an outcome for me for a dream. I'm pretty sure it's because I've been making a conscious effort to change my mindset and to try and get out of this double bind where I have to do something and I can't do it. And the dream is very encouraging in that it demonstrates that A, the affirmations are working, and B, I don't really need to keep pushing myself to do impossible things. All my life there's been things that I can't do. I decided I actually have a degree of autism, that most things involving social activity are somehow very difficult for me, and most jobs of work that you do involve social activity and convincing people that you're the right person for the job and kind of convincing yourself into doing it. And I never ever managed to find myself a career path which I felt I could do, and I ended up doing very badly paid and unpleasant jobs for short periods of time, and relying mainly most of my life on husbands to support me. And now, kind of in my twilight years, I'm thinking, well, I'm not at the end yet, I don't have to go yet, there is time to find my way up this hill and into this castle and do things a different way, and that is a very encouraging thought. So I'll leave you with that then. Have a nice day. Bye.